Welcome to Critony Entertainment. I'm Chris.
I'm Bree.
And today we're going to do another one of our Tips and Techs Tuesday, and we're going to talk about lava bases today.
Lava base.
Lava bases. They're going to be really simple lava bases you can do for pretty much any of your figures. They can be used for miniature wargaming, can be used for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. You can do this right under your Ranger bases, but that's what we're going to start with. So you start with a base. This can be attached to a miniature and not attached to a miniature. I'm doing one without a miniature to make it easier to see, but this is the mini that came with it. And
that's Cad Bane.
That's Cad Bane from Star Wars Legion. I just kind of see where his feet are going to approximately land on this base. So I'm going to take my big old honking brush, and I'm going to take my Citadel Khorne Red, and I'm just going to paint this base. I've already primed it black, and I did that so the
Are you perhaps going to slather?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I'm going to slather.
Slather!
I'm not too worried about the final result of this red here. I'm not worried about streaky or globby. It doesn't matter. This is just a base coat for everything. And like I said, I primed it black so the red has something to stick to. So once that dries, we're going to jump right into Citadel Technical Paint. We're going to use the Stirland Battlmire. This is going to give us our uneven texture. So once again, we take our figure that fits here. If your figure's already fixed to the base, you don't have to do this. We'll take our figure that fits here, and we just kind of want to see where his feet are going to be, because I don't like miniatures standing in lava.
I mean, it seems unlikely, so...
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them. So I'm just going to take this Battlmire on an old brush that I'm not too worried about it, and I'm just going to glob it on here. You're going to see it's not making super raised texture everywhere I'm putting it. That's okay. I'm not worried about that. I actually want a few flat surfaces. So in this case, Cad Bane has a place to put his feet when we're all done. But basically, I'm putting a rocky, this is going to be our rocky pattern where the lava doesn't hit. And I'm just kind of making a horseshoe pattern. And when I finish that, I look at it, I said that's too much red in the middle still. So I'm going to put a little bit in the middle of that horseshoe pattern too. It's just a random pattern. You don't have to do anything specific.
Otherwise, Cad Bane was going to definitely be having hot pants.
Yes, that would have been bad for him. So some people do lava bases a little differently. They use like a crackle earth thing.
Yeah.
I like to go with like little rivers of lava flowing through it.
And the few times I have done lava, I went with the Crackle Earth aesthetic, because it's fun to see it kind of heating up through it.
Yep, and so once that's dry, we take our Citadel Black Templar, and we're just going to paint over the Stirling Battlmire with this. The end result of this, and you kind of saw a photo of the beginning of the video, it's not going to be hard to do. Is it going to be the world's best lava base? Absolutely not. It's an everyman lava base. It's not going to be wet blended and perfectly lava looking, but it's one of those things that when you get it painted up and you put a miniature on the table, especially since it's under the miniature's feet and you're going to be looking at it from a couple feet away, it's going to look incredibly striking on the tabletop.
Yeah.
My entire clone and droid armies, your droid army, my clone army for Star Wars Legion are based this way.
Yes, they are. They are all kind of based for the Mustafar fight.
Yes. We bought a game map for them that has lava theme on it. So we kind of blended them and themed them into what we have going on there. The value of basing a miniature really can't be overstated. I know I don't do this in any of our Power Rangers painting videos. I just opted for simple black bases. Sometimes I regret that. Oh, there was a hiccup there. I'm going to keep that in because I'm very professional. Sometimes I regret that, but sometimes I don't. But for all my other war games, all my bases have some kind of texture on them. And this is just one of the simple texture techniques you can do.
Yeah.
So once we get that painted, we're going to set that aside to dry. And we're going to move back to the lava section here. And there's a nice crashing sound in the background because our dogs are idiots.
Joke.
So I use Citadel Mephiston Red. I'm going to put all the paint names in the description below. This video moves kind of fast, so I know we don't have time for our usual banter here, Brie. But what I'm doing is I'm taking a fairly thin brush. I'm taking the Mephiston Red, and I'm kind of coloring in the middle of the lava, because it's the area furthest away from the rock that's the hottest, so it's going to be the brightest. So I left the Khorne Red visible on the very edges, and while that's drying, I can actually jump back to the stony texture. So I take my Battle Gray here, and I use a flat-bladed brush, and I'm just dry brushing. Not even true dry brushing, because I'm leaving more paint on than a traditional dry brush. But I'm just kind of dry brushing a little bit of this. And there's the dogs in the background kicking up the noise here, and Bree snapping at them and leaving the room. And we're not going to re-record this because we're bad at our jobs as YouTubers. But you see I'm kind of doing this over-brushing dry brush technique. I dip the flat-bladed brush in the paint, and I wipe some of it off in a paper towel. And I'm just going over what we did with the Battlmire. And it's not going to be perfect.
No, but the cool part is your rocky, craggy area, you can do to whatever style you want.
Absolutely. So we move on to Citadel layer, Evil Sunz Scarlet. We're going to do the same thing we did with the Mephiston Red. We're just going to paint it kind of inside the reds. We're going to leave a little sliver of the Mephiston showing and a sliver of the Khorne Red showing. So yeah, you could do this rocky area brown. You could do, I mean, if you wanted to do some kind of weird alien volcano that had purple lava, you can take this technique and do a purple lava with different shades of purple, and you can do a bright green rock. It really doesn't matter. Now I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm kind of like, but Chris, we need to do that now.
Yeah, I went too traditional with my lava here. This is very disappointing. But you see on this one, I'm actually also kind of leaving some spaces. Yeah. It's not a continuous run of the red, just because I'm trying to make it look inconsistent. Like there's hotter spots here and there.
Well, and that would make sense, like there's, this is a deeper spot where there's more lava.
See a little better on this close-up here where it's not perfect around it there.
There you go.
But you can see the different reds. Even from above, you can see the different reds. And we move on to Arcador Red Highlight. This is a P3 paint. This is the most embarrassing part of the video. This is the last bit I was able to get out of that pot. It is in bad shape. You see I have a hard time getting it on?
Oh, this was the last of that.
This was the last of that pot. I've since replaced this pot. But a lot of water and a lot of patience gave me just enough orange, because the orange, again, like the Evil Sunz, is not going to cover every bit of the red. It's going to get even smaller. Mm-hmm. So we're just using continuously smaller colors. And you can go as deep or as shallow with this as you want. I could have done dark red, light red, orange, and called it a day, and it still would have looked decent. Yeah. I could also use a lot more colors than I actually use as well, because I jumped from this kind of mid-darker orange to a yellow next. I could have done a lighter orange and then a dark yellow and then a yellow and then a white on top of that. I could have done this all together. I opted not to do that. These are simple lava bases. Your base isn't going to be your primary focus on a miniature, but your base can make a huge difference.
Yes.
A poorly painted miniature with a great looking base suddenly looks decent.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're done with our orange. We're going to move on to our Citadel Flash Gitz yellow. This is a really, really bright yellow. I probably should have used like a Uriel yellow. It's kind of a more mid-tone. But this works just fine. It matches what I've done for the droid and the clone armies that I painted up. And you see with our thin brush, just little itty-bitty slivers of this yellow. Itty-bitty. We want to see the orange. We want to see all three shades of red that we used. And we just a little yellow, just a little bit goes a long way here. If we did too much yellow, it would really just overpower this whole thing.
Yeah, then it would look like you had like some kind of weird radioactive yellow lava.
Exactly. And guys, that's it.
That's all you need.
That's it. That's as easy as it is. It's a super simple technique. You get a great result. We just make sure, again, our miniature is going to be able to sit on this. It looks like it's going to be able to sit on it just fine.
I mean, if Chris isn't throwing the base all over the place like crazy.
I mean, we chuck things around all the time. So now I can paint this mini, glue him to his base, and it's going to be done. It's going to look great. Join us for more Tips and Techs Tuesday, more from Monday, and our other videos. Like and subscribe for more content from Critony Entertainment.
Bye!